to me, that smells like, this is an education company wrapped up in sheep's clothing. So I don't know. Yeah.
Hey, it's Walter here, and you're at the Think Profit podcast, where we're going to help you develop a rock-solid trading confidence and avoid the potentially endless cycle of system switching. Right, Hugh?
That's right. We're going to help you develop a wealth mindset, develop a trading strategy that fits your core personality, and help you overcome the obstacles that stop over 90% of traders.
All right, Hugh, sounds good. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's do this. Hey, Walter, what do you think about these programs like Get Funded as a Trader, those type of programs, and how does that play on trader psychology?
Well, in a way, so there's two different types of them, broadly speaking. There's the ones where you trade and people can hook up your trades to their accounts. So you would get paid usually either a subscription fee or even maybe a percentage of the profits or something like that. And then there are those where you kind of are coming in at like a student, and then they want to qualify you. And once you get qualified, then you can make certain levels where they give you money to trade, sort of thing, right? Like a prop firm or whatever. Yeah. So I've probably mentioned in the past, I had a friend who did this, who set up this thing like this. They had the platform created in China, to qualify the traders, and they reversed all the trades. So all these traders were coming in thinking that they were going to trade the fund, and what the fund did, and they were trading demo, that they weren't trading a live account. They were in fact trading the fund from the beginning, but the platform was just flipping their trades. And I said to him, and it was making money hand over fist. And I said to him, I said, aren't you concerned that you're going to get some trader who's really good or whatever and wipe you out? And he said, no. He said, nah. I mean, they will come up, they will, but they always cut their winners short and they let their losers run. And so, and if you think about when you first started trading, you were like that. And he said the biggest challenge they had was trying to convince these traders to keep going because they didn't realize they were making money for the fund. And he was trying to convince them, he would like reset their account, so that the demo side of it that they saw was back to zero losses. And, he'd do all these things to try and keep these traders to keep going because they were very valuable to him. And now he would get traders that were good, that qualified, and that would, move on to a live account and stuff. But there were very few. And so that's because he was targeting beginning traders. He was looking for people like that. So I guess the reason why I mention this is because these prop firms, they know that most people aren't going to qualify, right? So what they typically do is they will charge in some way. I don't care how they phrase it, they'll charge you money. And so really what they could be is, and I'm not saying that they are, but it's logical to suspect that what they could be is they're just an education company masquerading as a prop firm. And so they'll say certain things like, if you pay, $2,000, you can trade a small account. If you pay us $5,000 to go through the intermediate course, then you can trade, $50,000. And if you pay us $10,000, you can trade the expert. You go through the expert course, and if you qualify, you can trade $500,000. Things like that. So I would just be wary if I were a trader looking for these, because it sounds really good. But you need to ask yourself a couple of questions. How many of the traders qualify? Are there any known traders that have qualified for this? What sort of payouts am I going to make if everything goes according to plan? And also, so when you're trading these things, like how soon are you going to get back your money? So if you've put up $10,000, how soon is it going to take for you to get that $10,000 back? And do you trade in a way that they want? Because sometimes they have rules like you can't hold trades over the weekend, which for me wouldn't work because I have, long-term trades on all the time. That wouldn't work for me. So it's almost like you have to make sure that there's a good marriage between their qualification rules. Obviously they have stuff around drawdown and all that, but also the time frames that you trade and the methods that you trade. Because if you're trading a trend following strategy on the 6-hour charts and they want you to close it at the end of the week and all that, that might be difficult. Now you could close it out at the end of the week and re-engage at the beginning, but you'd have to look at what sort of drawdowns would they allow for and all that sort of stuff. So if I were looking for something like this, I would just be really careful that I'm not choosing one that doesn't match my, trading profile. So that sort of thing. Yeah.
I mean, for me, there's been a lot of opportunities to promote these things, right? But I've always steered away from them because it's like you said, it's always funneling the person into a certain style of trading. And I almost feel like they want you to day trade when you have to close out your trades at the end of the week. So I think that doesn't work for a lot of people. And yeah, there's like the drawdown, like the 10% drawdown for a lot of them that I've seen. And I think it would work if you have a strategy already and it fits the criteria. But I think the way those are marketed is that they want people who want to get funded into those things. And yeah, they're making money on the front end with the fee or whatever. And I think most people won't fit into that mold. So I think just be careful about that.
Yeah, absolutely. It almost seems like in some ways what they're trying to do is create, like they teach you how to trade, right? So presumably they're teaching some systems, and then they have all these rules on it. So what they're doing is they're forcing the accounts to not be diversified, right? You think about it, because they're, you know what I mean? They're forcing everyone to trade a certain way and get out of trades, you know, in a certain time frame, that sort of thing. So it almost seems like if they were really honest about what they were doing, they would welcome many different approaches to trading, because that's the best diversification. You don't get diversification when you trade the Swissy versus, you know, the Aussie Kiwi. Like that doesn't work. The markets are way too correlated. So if I were them, what I would want, and I've talked to people about this, and I know people that have done this actually, is they have teams, right? So they get teams of traders, and the team trades in one way, and they have a leader, and they have someone they can ask questions to, and they're all kind of learning the strategy. And they have another team, and they're sort of competitive. So they're all trading the fund's money, but what's happening is they're completely diversified because they have all these different strategies and all these different team leaders that have different approaches. And so this is really cool because you do get that diversification effect. But if everyone's going through the same course and everyone has the same rules on how they, you know, apply their trades, I don't see how you get any diversification there. And to me, that smells like, you know, this is an education company wrapped up in in sheep's clothing. So I don't know. Yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, ideally, even if they were going to do that, they would benefit from like having people trade demo to build up a trading track record, flip the trades, and then the ones that survive would get funded, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Interesting stuff. Okay, cool. Thanks, Walter.
Thanks.
All information in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and is not trading or investment advice.